Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and we're talking about going back to old games that I've played on the channel. All right, we talked about Metal Gear. We talked about Streets of Rage. Another game that I'm planning on going back to but haven't done yet is Pokemon Battle Revolution. And you probably guessed by this point, by how much I've talked about it, kind of have a love-hate relationship with that game currently, being that it is the most watched series on this channel, despite being what I consider to be worse, as worse content than what I make now. I could just be wrong, but however, I do plan on going back to it. And not just because it's getting a lot of views right now. I'm not just doing it for the views, okay? I do actually want to finish that, because technically I already beat the game, but I was doing the post-game, and I didn't beat that. So I want to beat the post-game now, because I kind of committed to beating the post-game. So we were talking about obstacles between me and going back to games. The obstacle there is that I have decided that I need a new team for that game. Because don't get me wrong, the team I had wasn't bad. Oh my god, am I actually gonna do it? Okay, maybe. Maybe not. No! Fuck. I just had to survive that last one, but I didn't account for the stop. Damn it. Anyway, as I was saying, Battle Revolution, I'm building a new team. And I'm mostly done. The first step to doing that, and I guess this is a spoiler, but I doubt anyone who's gonna watch this is anyone. Well, I guess in the future there'll probably be people, but okay. I doubt I'm gonna spoil much for anyone. Whatever, it's my show, I can do what I want. The first step to building the new team, in my head, was, okay, I'm gonna catch as many Pokemon as possible so I have as many options to choose from, right? Theoretically, it would have been smarter to, just look at what Pokemon were available on a website and be like, okay, this one, this one, this one, that one, right? Theoretically, that would have been smarter. However, I knew that I was going to need to do a lot of very obscure things. Because, hey, arguably, well, maybe Legends Arceus beats it, but arguably, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the biggest Pokemon games. Because they have, the Johto region, which, you get your 8 badges, you beat the Elite Four, and it's all well and good. Beat Team Rocket, whatever. That's great and all. But it's also got the Kanto region. And a lot of the stuff that you can get in that game, you can only get in that post-game rump through the Kanto region. And plus, there was a lot of stuff that I just missed going through the Johto region. So I knew I was going to have to, trek all over the place anyway. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just do basically an entire run-through of each region, getting everything that I can. Every Pokemon, every item that's just lying on the floor. All that stuff. And it took a long time. I also spent a ton of time playing Voltorb Flip. Partly because I'm gonna need the coins, but also it's also just fun. Voltorb Flip is stupidly addictive, and I hate it, but I love it. I also love-hate relationship. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff. However, I'm at a point where I've got pretty much all the Pokemon that I can relatively easily get. And I've got pretty much every item that I had left just lying around before. I call all the legendaries, which is funny because I'm definitely not going to be using legendaries because I'm pretty sure there are some parts of the post-game in Battle Revolution where you can't use legendaries. So, if I'm remembering correctly. Because I did 100% Battle Revolution at one point prior to playing it for the show. But yeah, I've got all the legendaries, not going to use them. But yeah, I've basically got most, probably 90% of what I need now to build this team. Plus some. Plus some stuff that I'm not going to need, right? So... Damn it. Damn it. Should have bounced off him. Or on him for a while. Ugh. Yeah. That one is almost ready to go. Basically, all I have to do at this point is figure out who I want and then breed the best possible version of it. I'm not gonna go for IVs. I'm just going for nature and ability because breeding for IVs is fucking crazy hard. Well, it's not hard. It just takes a lot of time, especially back then in those old games when there's you straight up have to use a calculator to figure out the IVs, which is. So yeah, figure out who I want, breed the perfect Pokemon with the nature and the ability and the egg moves that I want. Gather up what few TMs I might not already have to teach the right moves. And then train them up so that I can transfer them over to Battle Revolution. Or copy them over. You're not really transferring them. You're copying them. And yeah, once I do that, I should be able to continue on with what I was doing. And again, a lot of this is just self-imposed, right? Frickin' heck. A lot of this is just self-imposed. Right? I could push through with the team I have. But I don't want. I want to make things easier for myself. And to make things easier for myself, I've put in 80 hours of game time in a totally separate game. God, that reminds me. I saw a video. I honestly don't remember much of it, but I saw a video on a speedrun where you play, I don't remember what game it was, but it was a speedrun where part of the fastest strat is to play Ocarina of Time. It's not an Ocarina of Time speedrun, but part of the fastest strat is to start doing an Ocarina of Time speedrun in the middle of the run. Which sounds very strange, but apparently that's just how the code works. And it's kind of funny. It's more than kind of funny. I think it's hilarious. It's weird. It's weird how speedruns can get, but it is also a weird idea that has been employed here of playing one game to do better in another one. And honestly, I think it's kind of cool. You don't see that a lot anymore. When's the last time they were like, okay, hey, play this totally separate game to get stuff in this other game that you don't necessarily need to progress, but will make things easier for you. I honestly can't think of it. I guess the best example I can think of is it's weird because I think it's a little awkward, but you can play you can get points for the Battle Pass in TFT by playing League. Like League of Legends. You know. So you can get stuff for Teamfight Tactics by playing League. Which is a little weird and also seems a little backwards because I'm pretty sure, I feel like League is the more popular game, so you should say, oh hey, get stuff in. Well, okay, you know, I think it could go either way, but it is, I think that's the closest thing I can get. And even then, it's not like things that will make the game easier or anything because it's a competitive game. That'd be kind of weird. It's just cosmetics. Yeah, that's weird. Who really has been doing interconnected games recently? Because, I mean, Pokemon's been doing that forever, right? Even just the main series Pokemon games within a generation. Like, if you look at Red and Blue, you were supposed to, well, not necessarily supposed to have one person play both games, but like, you were supposed to have interaction between the two games because if the idea is to fill the Pokedex, there are some Pokemon you can't get in Pokemon Red without trading from Pokemon Blue, and vice versa. So, Pokemon's been doing that since the start. And it's weird to think that there haven't been a lot of other games that have done that in my memory. I mean, again, like, I'm trying to think of examples and literally everything I think of is Pokemon, because the next example I thought of was, oh, right, so in Legends Arceus, I got some stuff for having Let's Go Eevee file on my Switch, and a Sword and Shield file, and a Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl file. Right? I got stuff for having those for save data for other Pokemon games, but again, that's Pokemon. They've been doing that for a long time. Ow. So it's not even strange for them. I guess, God, the only Mega Man Battle Network did it, because they had separate versions. Was that only for one of the Battle Networks? I don't remember. I want to say it was only for 5, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's just strange. It's just strange that hasn't been employed, because I think it's a cool idea, right? To connect two games in that way. And I think maybe there are probably examples of like little things in other games that I can't think of because I mostly only play Nintendo stuff and anymore anyway. Like imagine if, let's say, well, maybe they do have this, but let's say, imagine if you got like a new character in Overwatch for getting to a certain level in World of Warcraft. Like that'd be interesting. Again, that's a competitive game, so maybe it's not the best idea, but fucking slam mother, it's fine. But that sort of idea. I'm trying to, I guess the thing is it works best with single player games. So let me try and think of something else. Or like say, you know, you've got Uncharted 3 data on your, does this work? Can you play Uncharted 3 on a PS4? I don't know. Maybe you've somehow got some sort of record of playing Uncharted 3 on your PS4. And then in Uncharted 4, they're like, oh yeah, here's a, you know, a special gun or something that is really good or something. That'd be cool. Or like, here's, right, or, I mean, to make it more like Pokemon, like, oh, here's a thing that you could only get. Maybe it doesn't even have a function, but maybe it's just like a collectible. But here's a thing that you can only get if you played Uncharted 3. Right? And I think that's, I mean, honestly, that just makes so much sense to me for getting people to play multiple games from the same developer. Is to be like, hey, you can get stuff in this game, but only if you played the other game. I think that's like, I mean, you could argue that maybe that's a little exploitative. Because, right? Because, and people have made this argument against the Pokemon games for a while now, where they're like, oh, they just want you to buy, 2 copies of each game. And I don't think that was actually the original idea, but that's kind of how it turned out. That a lot of people will just buy both, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and they'll just trade with themselves. You would need 2 different Switches for that, by the way, which is not super practical. I didn't mean to bounce that high. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still think it's a neat idea. Right, like if in the newest Shantae game, I think, what was it called? 7 Sirens, I think. The newest Shantae game as of this recording. Like if in 7 Sirens you got a special, power-up or collectible for beating or even just playing Half Genie Hero. And like, even then, that's not exactly the same as the Pokemon stuff, because it's like, well, you have to do a specific thing in the other game to unlock something in this game. So, I don't know. But it seems like Nintendo is really the only one doing that, for the most part. But also, like, in some cases, it feels like a cool case of player appreciation. Like, hey, you played our game, then here's something special for you, Right? It's like giving a discount to one of your frequent customers, Or like, giving them a free soda or something. You're like, hey, you know what? You give us a lot of business, this one's on the house, That sort of thing. That feels good. That feels good to receive. You're like, oh, well, nice. I wasn't expecting that. Cool. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. Fine, we just chill here for a bit. Okay. What do you mean I wasn't on top of him? It's fine. I'll be on top of him next time. But, as for this episode, that's a wrap. Oh, have I mastered Let's Play?